Here's another power play example, a 1-3-1 setup. And this is for the Habs fans out there. In this case, Montreal's got the power play. And similar to the last video, in that case, it was Toronto with the power play against Ottawa, I think. And, the NHL style is to drop that puck back and press through the neutral zone. You've got in this case, the Habs coming out of their zone. They've just dropped it back and picked it up. And the two players, I'll show like the previous, swinging to the outside, and you've got the Habs players pushing back here against the penalty killing unit, forcing them to be more defensive and pushing them back to their own blue line. This action allows the puck carrier to press through the middle, gain speed. They've got a little time and space. Now, different from the previous video. The Leaf player carrying the puck, in that case, they had the power play, came up a little bit to the right of center and delayed inside the zone and then dished the puck off to their line mate just inside the blue line. In this case, I think it's Nick Suzuki carrying the puck here. He's going to take this puck a little bit wide, and he does a little move here at the line. Keep note of that. I'm going to come back to that in a moment. And he gains the zone. Now, what's happened, though, is by taking it wide, and that's not necessarily a bad thing at all. I'm just saying by taking it wide, he's allowed these Leaf players to kind of box him out or lock him off to the outside. And he's got Caulfield with him. In the previous one, like I said, there was a dish off of the puck, but he's not going to do that here for this example. He's putting Caulfield in a tough spot, maybe a turnover, or certainly he's going to mess up his setup here. And at the same time, I don't even think a drop pass in this case is an option. A little too risky. He's got that pressure on him. I think it's Yarncroc behind him. And also, he doesn't know where his line mates are. They just gained the zone, so too much of a turnover or breakaway risk there. So what he's going to do is Suzuki continues to the wall and a bit of a set play. He's got Dach on the far side. He's going to wrap this around hard, and the Habs are going to pick it up on the far wall. Now, in this case, Dach's got it on the wall. He's protecting it a bit. Maybe Monahan here, 91, is calling for it. I'm not sure. Or they just know that obviously they've played and practiced together. So he's going to just put this puck back, get it off the wall, and right away Monahan puts it back to Matheson at the point who's the quarterback on this 1-3-1. So you can see the Habs are already setting up that 1-3-1 scenario, and then obviously the high guy up here. Matheson starts to move a bit to the middle to draw the defender over slightly. I like the stick in the lane here, directing. He's got this option here and here, but with the stick in front of him, this stick here, he's kind of directing which way, I guess his preference is to move that puck. They got to kill this power play, right? So now it's at this point where I'm going to talk about the PK a little bit. And right here, you'll see Monahan and Caulfield. Monahan's the bumper, Caulfield's the net guy. And I was asked this question a few practices ago. Is it okay for these guys to swap spots? And that question was asked because when we're working on the power play, I'm always saying, this guy is okay to skate that puck up if he wants. Or in this case, Matheson could have skated it over here and Dach could have swapped with him and taken his spot. Maybe there's a drop pass, whatever. Some teams do it to get the right or left shot in various spots on the walls for that off-wing shot, whatever it is. If the puck had come over to Suzuki, he could swap with Matheson. They could skate it up and swap. But the question was asked about these two guys, the net guy and the bumper swapping. And I'll talk about the wall guy and the bumper swapping in a moment. But absolutely, these guys can swap. Like anybody who watches the Leafs, watches the, you got Draisaitl with the Oilers, and obviously Stamkos, Ovechkin, whatever. These guys are starting to learn to be fluid because teams are picking up on who everybody's trying to get the puck to. right? And I'm a big Leafs fan, so I watch a lot of Leafs, but I see Matthews and Leafs doing this a lot, where you'll see Matthews in the bumper position or down low or whatever, and they're moving guys around. So it's good to be dynamic. And so the Habs, you're going to see this is a bit of a set play. So Monahan and Caulfield 91 and 22 here swap. Okay, so that's point number one. Another point here is on the PK side, right? These guys are now going to do something that I'm not necessarily a fan of. So they're going to get caught chasing and two of them pressuring one guy. This is a very, very aggressive penalty kill move. And Doc just passes it down low. I like where Monahan is. He's at the side of the net here. And he doesn't try to force it. He doesn't spin and try to jam it in the net for a low risk or a low success move here. He has a bit of patience. He allows Brody here, 78, to commit. And again, we saw this in the last example too. The player commits. There's no problem with putting that stick down, but you kind of got to watch, right? Wait for that. And all while that was happening, I don't know if anybody caught what was happening here with Caulfield and Suzuki. So here's another example. You got the wall guy here. You got the bumper here in the middle. And again, they're being fluid. Suzuki's going to cut into the middle. Cowan kind of just happened to notice him right here, but he's got to pay attention. So he's got to stick out, trying to stop this cross seam or whatever's going to happen potentially here. But now Suzuki comes in, takes a little bit of creates a little bit of distraction here. And secondly now, so you got, remember, back to Doc, you've got, I think that's Jarnkrok and Giordano pressuring Doc on the wall. Now you got two Leafs out here, dangerous, right? They're breaking that formation. I guess they were trying for that diamond or box or whatever. They didn't really get into a diamond. But now Giordano is going to chase. Brody is trying to create that pressure or an obstacle there. And now Giordano is going to come down too little too late. And Jarnkrok and Cowan are now thinking that pass is coming here. It's not coming there, but they double team that guy. It's Suzuki is causing a little bit of a distraction, a magnet scenario. And look who's right here. Backdoor, high slot kind of spot. Monahan sees him. Boom, right over here. One-timer in the back of the net. No problem. Right? So we'll just back that up to see it sort of more real time. Okay, reset that puck back up to the point, back down to the side. Now the Leafs overcommit here. Don't like it. Right? Pass down low. Suzuki into the scene here. Causes a bit of distraction. Two Leafs jump on him. Again, don't like that. Double teaming. Two players, both times two here. And then the puck to Caulfield, bang, in the back of the net. And, you know, it was a great setup by the Habs. Beautiful setup. Nice set play. I like the movement. But to add to that, like I said, that the second point is the PK. A little bit of a breakdown there. Overcommitting. So for you young penalty killers, you know, make sure you're focusing on that containment. Try not to get out of that formation. Wait for them. Once they lose control, then attack. Otherwise, get back and just keep them to that outside and be aware. Now, I told you at the blue line to make note of that. The Habs coming over the blue line. This is the third thing I want to talk about, and this is to talk about the mental aspect of the game. Very important, and the third reason why this video clip caught my attention, why I wanted to share it with you. So I'll advance a little bit more here, and you'll see it cuts to a coach's challenge. So the Leafs have spotted that they believe, in this case, I think it was Caulfield had gone offside. They spent a few minutes reviewing it. I don't have the audio on here. Whenever I do my recordings, I don't have the audio. The software that I use doesn't bring over the audio. But the decision now is with the NHL Situation Room. But watch this entire time. I'll move the video forward slowly. Watch the entire time Caulfield's face while the refs are deliberating. The control room is deliberating. And the entire time I'm going forward here, Caulfield's expression hasn't changed, right? He's the one who potentially went offside. He's also the one who just scored the goal. The refs make the announcement. They call it no goal here. And the Leafs fans start cheering, the Habs fans start booing. And again, just watch Caulfield. His expression does not change. This is, you know what? I'm a huge Leafs fan, not a big Habs fan, but I'm giving credit where credit is due. This is a kid who is cool as a cucumber, and he's someone that a lot of other young players can look up to for his mental disposition. This is so impressive to me, and it caught my attention. I think I went back and replayed it a few times, and I wanted to share this with you guys. And what does he do here? No goal. The power play is still on, right? Because there's no goal, it was called back. So what does he do? Jumps right back on the ice. Does not change his expression. No swearing, no arms in the air, no calling out to the referee, no commenting to his line mates, doesn't look back at the coach, nothing. He just gets back out there, does his job, mental strength, focus, determination. I love it. This is something everybody can learn from. This is a great example. Hope you enjoyed this video.